Tom, there's a big vote tomorrow, isn't there, on whether the Prime Minister should be referred to the Privileges Committee about whether he misled Parliament or not. Is that a motion that you would back?
I won't be backing a motion to refer this issue to Chris Bryant's committee. That is not something I'll be doing. I think we had a statement on it yesterday. There'll be a debate on it tomorrow connected with this motion, but to be perfectly honest with you, I'm really keen that the government is focused on, and actually the House of Commons is focused on, the array of huge challenges that are in front of us at the moment to do with cost of living, Ukraine, and other things like, for example, making sure the Rwanda policy works. And I think we've debated this issue until we're blue in the face. A lot of things happened, and it's clearly not a good situation. But frankly, it is not a resigning matter in my view, and I want the Prime Minister to be dedicated and focused to those key issues that matter most to my constituents, and that is what he's doing.
I mean, it would, of course, I think even the Prime Minister would accept be a resigning matter if it was proved that he deliberately misled Parliament. And so in those circumstances, why not refer himself? Why not just let this investigation happen? Because, as the Prime Minister's critics might suggest, if he doesn't, there seems to be something he wants to hide.
Well, look, I mean, I think that having a sort of some sort of investigation that will go on for months and months and months, led by a committee chaired by a Labour member of Parliament who's been incredibly political throughout his career, I think would not be the right thing to do. I think it's better to, the Prime Minister has said that he didn't deliberately break the COVID rules, and in his mind he hadn't broken the COVID rules. So there is no evidence to suggest that he misled Parliament. I think we know that. I don't see how an investigation by this committee is. I mean, with great deals of respect, Chris Bryant, in terms of his time being chair of the committee that he's chair, I've got there's no suggestion from me that he hasn't done an adequate job as chair of that committee, but I really don't know what is to be gained by having a dragged out investigation by his committee, which, how's it ever going to be able to prove that the Prime Minister deliberately misled Parliament? It's going to be something which is impossible to improve, because the Prime Minister said to us that he didn't deliberately break the COVID rules. In his own mind, he hadn't broken the COVID rules. So how is an investigation by Chris Bryant's committee going to get to a firm conclusion either way? It's not. Yep. So it's a waste of time.
OK, I mean, I should just say, you possibly haven't seen this. In the last 20 minutes or so, Chris Bryant has written a letter to the Committee of Privileges saying that he would recuse himself if the committee was to look into this, i.e. he would not be chairing that investigation. But we'll see what happens with that vote tomorrow. Tom, I just want to ask you one last question before we let you go on the Archbishop of Canterbury. It also came up at PMQs today, but you were quite vocal at the weekend, weren't you, in regards to what Justin Welby had to say with the Rwanda immigrant policy. He branded it ungodly. Why do you think he wasn't allowed to speak out?
Well, I didn't say that he shouldn't be allowed to speak out. I wasn't trying to cancel the Archbishop of Canterbury, but I was exercising my right of free speech to say that I think his intervention was wrong-headed. I don't think he was right with what he said, and to be perfectly honest, I think choosing Easter Sunday to shine a spotlight on that in the way that he did, I personally didn't think was advisable. I'm not saying that he should be banned from saying what he wants to say, but I'm just saying I didn't agree, and personally I don't think it was advisable for him to have done it. So, and I think he was wrong. I don't think he really understands the issue. I think that yes, he's not a kind of government department, so he can say, well, I shouldn't be expected to come up with an alternative plan. But I think it would be good if he showed some basic understanding as to what the alternative might be, because it's all well and good saying this isn't a good thing, but it's also not a good thing what's happening at the moment. People dying in the English Channel, and a system that benefits people smugglers more than anybody else who are making money from people trying to get into our country illegally. I don't think that it was that the Archbishop of Canterbury was right with what he said. It's not the first time he's intervened in political matters, and he tends to do so very much from one side of the argument. On Brexit, he got involved in Brexit when he shouldn't have done, in my view. But me saying that I don't think he should, or I wouldn't advise him to say what he says. It's a different thing from trying to cancel. He'll continue to say what he says, and if he keeps on saying the same sort of things, I'll probably continue to disagree with him.
And in many ways, it's the essence of democracy, isn't it, as well? Tom, as always, thank you very much indeed.
Welcome to the GB News YouTube channel. You can watch us live 24 hours a day, catch up on your favourite shows, and join in the conversation in the comments below.
Don't forget to subscribe and you'll never miss any of our exclusive content.